Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lynn. Well, oh, pardon me. Go ahead.
Hi, Lynn. I'm going to join in. I'm going to stay here, but I'm going to turn off the sound for 5 minutes.
Sure, you bet.
Finish listening to the president.
Yeah, do whatever. Do whatever you want. I understand the excitement for a change, for 100 executive orders that get to be signed today. Yay! All right, but we're going to go ahead and begin, and we're going to begin by taking a comfortable seat. And going ahead and allowing the eyes to close. Relaxing your shoulders, letting your outer body drape over the inner body strength that you have. And as you find the ground beneath you and you lengthen your spine up towards the sky, feeling that resilience that is within you. And you can allow then your attention to drop down and rest for a moment in the space of your heart. Find your energetic heart center. It's midway between the spine and the sternum. And as you rest into the space of your heart, can you imagine a line that goes from the heart center, a diagonal line going from your heart center all the way up to this space that we found that's right under the collarbones. And if you take that from the heart center and allow the lift to come all the way up to that space we were calling at the front of the heart, at the front of the collarbones, the top of your breastbone, and the front of your throat. Relax the shoulders. And even with that lift coming from your heart center up to the space above the collarbones and the front of your throat, you're welcome to still keep the gaze a little more inward. And deepening your breath and feeling the breath expansion in your body. And not with any strain or stress, but simply noticing where the breath is moving. Our life, like a breath, a coming and a going, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless. Our life, like a breath, then, a coming and a going, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless. Taking another deep inhale. And with your next exhale, bring the hands together in front of your heart. And this morning, let's join together. Let's sing Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu. We'll sing this together. Take a deep inhale. Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavavai Tejasvinavarim Tamastu my Vivyashavai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands and lift your gaze. So to begin our practice this morning, we're going to come up to standing. And we'll come up to standing. Let me see where I put my glasses. Diego. Hang on a sec. Let's see here. Glasses. I don't know. Here's this pair. All right. So we'll come up to standing. And let's go ahead and take the feet a little wider. We're going to begin by just taking the arms and dangling them. And connecting to your breath. So you feel the breath coming in through the nose And let's take the breath just out through the mouth. And so the breath will be coming in through the nose. And we're going to take the breath out the mouth, and let's make that kind of shape of a straw. So it slows down that exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to take this into those pushing hands where the breath is going to be out the mouth quickly, like you're blowing out a candle. So whenever you're ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll just slowly let the body come back to center. And the breath can come back up in through the nose and slowly out the mouth. And the body is slowing down. Great. Then let's step the feet back to hip distance. And we're going to take the 3 quick inhales. So with fists, we'll take those 3 short inhales that you're all familiar with. And on the exhale, we're going to open the palms. Please let go as you bow forward. You can have that audible exhale. Whatever it is, you're letting go of. All right? So when you're ready, here we go. This is the last one. So when you go down, you can stay down, and you slowly let the arms slow down. And then just a little inhale halfway up, lifting through the top of the breastbone, and the exhale, bowing forward. And then let's inhale, come all the way back up, all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, let's bring the hands back down in front of your heart. And then releasing your arms, letting your arms dangle. Close your eyes for a moment. And once again, can you just notice this space? Go to that sternal notch that you know right above the top of the manubrium, the breastbone. And from there, trying not to skip over anything, can you travel out and along your right top of the right collarbone? And then you maybe arrive up at that upper right corner. And you might take your left hand and just move it up there so you can feel the space between your collarbone, right as it comes to the top of the shoulder, and also feel just to the back a little. You'll run right into that spine of your scapula. Feel that space right there. Get in touch with it, poke it. All right, and then let's relax the left arm down. And then can you, with your eyes closed, and please take your time to travel this distance. That's going to go back again to the sternal notch and to travel out on the underside and above the top of your left collarbone, the other one. And just see if with your felt sense, you might even notice a place that you just kind of find yourself skipping over. Can you go back and get more in touch with all of that space, all the way out to the top there, all the way to that next corner. And then let's take the opposite hand, the right one, and find the top of the collarbone. And find where it runs into the shoulder, that top. And then also, can you feel that where, if you just bump over the top, you feel the spine of the scapula right there. And can you feel the space in between? The space in between. Kind of palpate that so that your awareness will more easily come there, because you're touching, you're bringing that tactile kind of sense. And it's dense back there, it's thick. All right, then we're going to allow that to rest, that arm to rest back and down. And then can you pick up a strap? Can you pick up your strap? And we're going to take the strap and let's just bring it behind you. Take it up and under your arms. So you got it way up high on your back. And you're just gonna hold it up high. So I've got it up high as it goes around my upper back there, straight underneath my arms. And there it comes all the way to the front. And I'm just using the strap right now so that I get a sense of there's where the strap is crossing across my upper back there. And also just feeling it around my sides. You know, and I can even bring my hands toward each other right at the sternum. And I go, so there's my rib cage. And then I want to drop my awareness into the center between the back of my body and the front of my body to find that heart center. So placing your felt sense, where is that, the midpoint between where you feel the strap touching the back and the front, maybe where your hands come together. So I'm just bringing some awareness into where is that heart center. And then we'll go ahead and we'll take the strap and we'll put it away, we'll put it down. And then one more time, I'm just gonna let my arms dangle. And this time I want to imagine this, like an imaginary line that comes from dividing this front half above the collarbone to the back and from the back. So just an imaginary line that comes out to the corners. Kind of like as if I could divide this front from the back. And then one more time, we've done this before. We're going to inhale the arms straight out to the sides. And we'll rotate the palms forward. And when we do, can you let that front space above the collarbones lift up? It rolls up towards that imaginary line that you were just finding. And can you just go ahead and lengthen all the way out to your thumbs? And then let's turn the palms skyward. And inhale, lift the arms all the way up. So now we have the arms lifted and we're gonna reach all the way to the hands. Oh yes. And do you remember where is the heart center again? Remember, you just found it when you had the strap on? Find the heart center and can you lift on the diagonal from your heart center all the way up to that space above the collarbones. Or at least I'll remember it's that space where the second rib is. You'll find yourself, when that opens, you'll find yourself in a little bit more of a back bend. And then we're going to exhale and release the arms all the way back down. And just let the arms dangle. You're welcome to close your eyes and just let your awareness drop in. All right. So now let's go to a wall spot and let's do a little opener at the front of the chest. So if you'll come over to a wall and you take the stand with the right side of your body toward the wall. And remember, you don't have to be really close. You probably need to be at least a foot away from the wall. The right arm is going to be on a diagonal behind you. So if you took your arm straight up, that's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So it's out at a diagonal. And then we're going to step right foot forward, left foot back. So we've got the right arm back there, right foot forward. Okay. And now, can you drop your awareness again? Can you find the heart center? Where was that place midway between sternum and the upper back? Remember where the strap was. Come to the heart center, and can you release and lift at a diagonal up to that right front space above the collarbone, and then go ahead and lengthen all the way out to that upper right corner, all the way out towards the right hand. So that upper right space above the collarbone is rolling back. Do you feel that you can release it up and back? And then you can step the right foot back. You can let the right arm come down. If you felt any tingling in the right arm, you're probably not alone. And it's okay, because once you bring your arm back down, it's going to, recover. It'll be all right. And then let's take the other side. So the left arm is up at a diagonal. The left foot forward, the right foot back a little. And then dropping your awareness into where is the heart center. And then from the heart center, can you lift and release up at a diagonal to the space underneath the left collarbone? Wow, what I noticed is that on this side, it's a little harder for me to get my awareness up there. I do notice my awareness stopping actually below my collarbone, back down in my ribs. And it's taking some extra effort for me to get my awareness to come all that way up. That's so interesting to me. That is like, whoa, can I get there? And can you release that space above the collarbone so that it's lifting up and back and all the way to the hand. And what I found in my own body was that my attention again began to come down a little. So it's requiring some real focus for me. All right, and then we're going to release that side. So now we got both arms back and down. Then we're going to face a wall, and we're going to take the half Uttanasana, or half downward facing dog. So we'll keep the wrists about the height of the shoulders. But then we'll go ahead and walk the feet back. And reach those upper corners all the way toward the hands. Take the throat center and the heart center and lengthen those toward the pelvis. And then we'll step forward and we'll release the arms. All right, great. Okay then. So now let's grab your blocks. Let's bring them onto your mat. And class is small enough too that if you have any questions, you can always ask. Please feel free to ask any questions, okay? All right, so we're going to stand facing our yoga blocks wherever they are for you on your mat right now. We'll let the arms dangle for a moment. Then we're going to rotate the hands to face forward, feeling like, okay, when you rotate the hands to face forward, do you feel that space where you can lift right above those collarbones, let it roll up, and then we're going to inhale, lift both arms up, lift from the heart center up towards above the collarbones, and then we're going to exhale, we're bowing forward, we're going to Uttanasana, forward fold. Your next inhale, come up halfway. And the exhale, Uttanasana again, forward fold. And as you bow forward, allowing that space from above the collarbones to actually roll more down towards the heart now. And you're going to let the space at the back, above the shoulder blades, above the spine of the scapulas, also release forward. And then with your next inhale, come halfway. So hands on blocks. And you're going to lift up. And then when you have your arms straight, you've got your arms on your blocks. Come above the collarbones, right towards the midline, the middle half above the collarbones. And lift that up. And then your next exhale, bow again. Releasing at the back above those shoulder blades. And your next inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Arms overhead. And exhale, hands back in front of your heart. Release the arms. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, Uttanasana. You're bowing forward again. Releasing above the spine of the shoulder blades. That's coming forward. The next inhale, halfway. And your exhale, let's step the right foot back. So there's a lunge. Right foot back. And then I'm going to come to fingertips on my blocks. And now I'm going to reach into my front heel, lengthen all the way back into the right inner heel, and begin to take the arms away from my blocks. And now, from my heart center, remember where the heart center is, can you start to lift all the way up towards the bottom underside of those collarbones. And we might inhale the arms up. And then we're going to inhale the arms out. And exhale, slowly bowing forward. Hands find the blocks. Inhale, right foot forward. And exhale, left foot back. So once again, we're making this transition. So before we go into the upright lunge, if you remember when you had the strap around the rib cage at the beginning, and you found the heart center. And now you're going to come to fingertips. And then when you're ready, you start to take the hands away from the blocks and now lifting above those collarbones, releasing that upward towards the throat. From the heart, diagonally up as well, from the front of the heart, from that heart center all the way up. You can either keep the arms out or you might inhale them up. Reaching all the way to the hands. And then we'll inhale them wide. Exhale, bow. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, the releasing, the letting go. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rising. And exhaling, hands back in front of your heart. Noticing the ground, noticing where the weight is coming into the earth for you, how you connect to the earth. Lengthening up through the crown of the skull. And then let's go ahead and release the arms. And let's pick up your strap one more time. And let's make the loop bigger in your strap. So we make the loop bigger. We make it bigger than the width of the upper arm bones. Larger than the width of the upper arm bones. So it's a generous sized loop. Okay, we're going to take it behind. And we'll take the hands in it. All right. And then we press out on the strap. And then can you place your attention where's the heart center again? And from the heart center, can you start to lift again on the diagonal up towards right above the collarbones. And then go to the corners, right? The upper inner corners of the shoulders, and allow it to be soft there. So that at the upper inner corners, it actually rolls in the body. And when those upper inner corners roll in, you'll find the arms begin to go back farther. Because you're letting the back above those spine of the scapula back there, come a little forward. So how do I do that and still lift right above the insides of my collarbones, close to the midline? How do I do those both? And then we'll release. Take the strap in one hand and just simply let the arms dangle. Just feeling the breath. And then let's sit the strap aside. Well, no, actually, let's use it for tree. Let's use this strap. We're going to go to tree pose. But let's make the loop maybe smaller. And let's use a spot at the wall to help us. So, do you guys have any questions about the corner of this space and its relationship to what I'm talking about at the above the collarbones? Can you feel how these can be separate in a way, as in the movement? Is it making sense, or is it just like gobbledygook? I understand if it's like kind of feeling. But what we're going to do is come closer to a wall so that we've got the support of the wall for one of your knees. So if you'll stand on your right leg first. You're welcome to ask a question before we go if you have one. Okay. All right. So as you shift your weight to the right, you're going to bring your left knee, your left foot to wherever is comfortable on the standing leg, and the knee to the wall so that you've got the support of the wall. And that way, depending on how big your loop is really individual. All right? But you're going to put both hands inside this loop and reach it up to the sky. So I'm going to reach into my standing leg. I'm going to reach, if you remember, from the outer standing leg hip, from your right outer hip all the way into the center of the pelvis. And then I got my arms up, and I'm going to reach from those corners all the way toward my hands. This is using some smaller muscle fibers too, because I can notice even as I really reach up, sometimes I feel like, wow, why is this so hard? I say to myself. And then we'll exhale and release. We step down. And if you have a question, you can ask it. Let's give you guys a moment in case you want to, because we're small enough. And then otherwise, we'll go ahead and we'll go around to the other side. Go to the other side, where you're going to stand on your left leg, and you'll take the right knee toward the wall. And you'll draw that left outer hip into midline. And then when you're ready, reach the arms up. So I like to have my strap on my wrists. I like it on my wrists rather than the backs of my hands. And then as you reach up, can you send, almost like you're sending those upper corners of the shoulders? You're sending them, and you might, Sandra, make the loop bigger. I think you might find more space if the loop is a little larger for the arms to go up. And have the gaze can be either straight ahead or up. There you go. Right, Sandra? So that, yeah. Great. So the back, here's what's happening at the back, you guys, close in towards the C7. It's kind of like a little waterfall coming down. So it really waterfalls down the upper back and reaches all the way up through those corners. It's a lot of effort. And then release down. It's amazing how much strength that takes. Doesn't it? Is to get those arms up there. It's like, whoa, that is tough. Okay, so now we'll sit the strap aside. Okay. And we'll come back. We're gonna take, just in case if you're not doing downward facing dog, then take whatever pose is your alternative, right? Otherwise, if you are taking downward facing dog, we'll inhale, lift the arms. We'll exhale, bow forward. Inhale halfway. And exhale, take downward facing dog. Or whatever alternative you're taking. It could be puppy, maybe you're decided you need a child's pose, whatever. So once again, you're sending those corners just like you did when you were just in tree pose. Only in downward dog or puppy, you're sending those corners to the hands again. All right, great. And then we'll bring the knees to the ground. And we'll walk the hands back. I'm going to bring my blocks with me for a moment. And I'm going to take my blocks and stack them. I'm going to not stack them, but I'm going to bring the two short ends toward each other. And I'm going to put them on my mat there. And then I'm going to take a blanket to pad my blocks. Or you could use a bolster. That would work as well. If I have just blankets, I'm going to put 2 blankets up there. And then I'm going to lie over the top of these so that in a moment we're going to take Salabhasana. And so again, the blocks are about at the bra line. So they're not smushing my breast. My breast can be past the blocks. And I'm just going to pull my hands back on the ground to begin. And I'm not just lifting my head right now. I'm waiting for a second. I've got my toes tucked under. And you could either have the knees completely down. That's fine as well. Either the knees can be down and the toes a little tucked, or you can lift the knees up and have the toes still touching. But I'm going to take my hands straight back again, imagining they were in that loop. But make the hands, they don't need to be close to the legs. Take them as wide as you need them. And just notice right now, so with just the arms there, you're letting the inner corners be very soft. So the arms they're in almost internal rotation. But then from my heart center, I'm going to start to lift up towards those collarbones, under them. When I do that, I feel my chest come up a little. And then I'm also going to keep rolling up towards my throat. My feet could either stay on the ground or they might lift. And then I'm going to release everything. My hands come down my knees. I'm going to push myself up and back to child's pose. And I can rest my forehead on that stack of blocks and my blankets. Okay. And I want to take another one, but I want to just remind you before we go on this next one, just remembering that when the arms are out and back, that inner corner, right? That inner corner, just like you did in standing. Remember when you had the strap behind you, the inner corner on the front, it softens into the body, into the body. So that the arms, we're not pulling the arms back. We're lifting right above the inner collarbones. We'll roll that up, but we're not pulling back with the arms, right? The lift is coming from inside, from heart all the way up towards the throat. Does that make sense? I'm hoping. All right, let's take another one. So I'm going to come over my blocks. That was really heating, I thought, the last one. I've got my hands on the ground to begin, and I'm not pulling my head up yet. I'm actually just letting my head even be a little down. And then I'm going to take my hands, reach them back, palms facing towards the midline of my body. And with the next exhale, I'm going to start to lift from right above the inner collarbones up towards the throat. I might take my feet from the floor. It's broad across the upper back, broad across the upper back. And then I'm going to exhale, release, and again, press back to child pose. And then I'll walk my hands back. And I'm going to move my blankets out of the way. There's my blocks. I'm going to step forward to Uttanasana for a moment. And then I'm going to inhale and come all the way back up and arms overhead. And then bring my hands back down in front of my heart. And then release my arms. All right. So now I want to take Warrior One. Any questions before we go to Warrior One? All right. So let's go ahead and step the right foot back. All right. So the right foot back, the right foot has a very slight turnout. The two headlights of the pelvis are pointing towards the top of your yoga mat. And in this Warrior One, we're going to have the arms, rather than taking them up, we're going to be taking them back. I wonder if we should have a strap. We'll try it without, like Salabhasana arms. So let's here, inhale, let's find the heart center. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bend the front knee. And begin to lift from heart center towards the top of the collarbones. Okay, great. Got an idea. And then let's come back up, straighten the front leg and step forward. And I think the strap will be helpful. And I want to just emphasize one other thing before we go to the other side. So I'm going to grab my strap. And again, I'm going to make the loop, I'm going to make it bigger so that it is wider than my upper arms, right? Because that's what I found worked better, is that when the strap is behind me, I'm going to have more space. And the other thing I want to just encourage you about is that when my arms are back, and you might remember that you were softening at the upper inner corners, and this part, this upper part that goes from C7, T1, T2, all the way across here, this can become broad. This can become more broad, okay? So experiment with that on the second side. All right, so we're standing at the top of the mat. We're gonna take the left foot back. Palms are facing each other. I'm gonna inhale, and with the next exhale, bending the front knee, and starting to lift from heart center up towards the top of the collarbones. Broaden across that back part. And then press into my front foot. Release my strap. Inhale, step forward. And then I can sit my strap down. And then I'm going to exhale, bow forward to Uttanasana. I can have my hands on blocks. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, I'm going to step back to downward facing dog, or go, if you're not doing downward dog, just go all the way straight back towards child's pose. So I'm either resting in downward facing dog or resting in child's pose. And then, if I'm in child's pose, I'm going to go ahead and come onto all fours, and all of us are going to plank. So in plank pose, can you be broad across the upper back? Can you remember the strength at the inner thighs? That wrapping of that deep abdominals. And then with your next exhale, go ahead, touch the knees down and bring the chest down. Let's pull the hands back so the palms are on the ground. So when we have the arms here, again, you're not going to pull the shoulders back. In fact, it's more like you isometrically pull the hands towards the feet and inhale from heart center, above the collarbones. There's a cobra. Exhale, release. Coming all the way forward, down. Maybe the forehead touches. Inhale, rise into another cobra. Exhale, releasing. Inhale, rising. And exhale, releasing all the way down. Take the hands, right hand over the left, and either resting your forehead or your chin. And just taking 6 deep breaths. All right. And then we'll slide the hands back under and press up to all fours and take child's pose. And then we'll walk the hands back. Okay. So let's set ourselves up for a restorative kind of a restorative bridge pose. I've really been enjoying this one. So what does it look like? It's going to look like I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to and you know, this is individual for how deep of the lumbar will want. So if I have one block on the lowest setting, and I'm going to set up either kind of close to a wall or a chair, something that I'll be able to put my feet up on. So I have one block at the lowest setting. So like, and then I'm going to put another block on top of that at the lowest setting. So that's going to be that would be for my body. And then I'm going to put a bolster on top of that. I'm going to check this out, see if it's the right height. The other thing I'm going to want is to have a blanket folded in half lengthwise. And another blanket folded in half lengthwise on top of that one. So I've got at least 2 blankets there that I want my shoulders to rest upon. Let me get into this for you and show you that as well. Okay. So for myself, I'm going to come over here. Diego's going to be like, Mom, what's going on? Excuse me, Diego, sweetie. Yeah. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna want my pelvis to be closer to either my chair or the wall, whatever I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna scoop my pelvis that way. And then I actually have my shins on the wall. I'm gonna take my upper back to my blankets. And this time I'll take my legs up the wall. I could just have my shins on the seat of a chair. My blankets are under C7. And my arms, I've got the backs of my upper arms resting on the blankets as well. And if you have a question, feel free to ask. You'll see there is a little back bend here and a lifting of the heart space. And this should be, you should feel, you want the height that feels most like, yeah, you could stay here for a while. You know, I mean, I won't keep you here for a full 10 minutes, but you could on your own take this. So make it that sort of comfort. Make sure C7 is on the blankets. The back of your upper arms are on your blanket. The pubic bone is probably going in the direction of your chair or wall. I'll come and check you guys out to see if I have any suggestions for you. So Jackie, you want those blankets under your shoulders and under C7. Yeah, you might have to come into it again if you want any support under the pelvis. Because, yeah. Because you're going to want to take more of your upper body towards your head. So see if you can get, and let's see. So there's nothing under your pelvis, Lynn? Oh, there is something? I can't see it, so I'm just checking. Okay. And I'm wondering, Lynn, it almost looks like your head is floating from the ground. Is your head not on the ground? You want your head on the ground. C7 is on a blanket, but the head is on the ground. I think maybe your stack is too tall, or there's no blocks under the head. Are those blocks underneath your upper back? You don't want blocks under your upper back. You want just a blanket under the upper back. Pelvis is on blocks or a bolster or blankets, but under the upper back is only blankets, no blocks. Yeah, get rid of that thing. And you might fold your blanket lengthwise as opposed to a little ball. Do you know the lengthwise fold? Just to support.
In order to make it thick, I have to keep it skinny, short.
Okay, but make it really smooth, just so you'll feel good support there. You might see under, take your wrists a little wider. Take your wrists, there you go. Yeah, like that. I know it does take some prep to get the blankets all nice and in the right place. So we'll just be here like another minute. So Jackie, slide the hands toward the head a little more. Yes, now you might feel like your blankets are too high, right? In relationship to the pelvis. So if it feels too high, just, you can always take away one of your blankets. And then you'll go ahead and start to bring yourself out of this shape. And we'll move that so we can come into a twist. So taking a seat on one blanket if you'd like. We're going to just take Marityasana 3. Where did you guys go? I hope you see me. I don't know if you do, but you're going to take Marityasana 3. I think you're still there, but I don't see you or myself. But let's take your left leg straight and bend the right knee. Left leg straight, bend the right knee. And you're going to be twisting towards the bent knee, Marityasana. Breathing in. And then with the next exhale, go ahead and release. And we'll take the second side. I'm still trying to see if I can find you on my computer. Oh, dear. So switching sides. Boy, I wish I could find you guys, but I'm counting on your being there. I don't know. Don't worry about telling me. I can hear you, Sandra. I just I just can't see anything at all on Zoom anymore. All right, so then go ahead, come back to center. Both legs straight out in front of you. Taking Dandasana. And now you're gonna set yourself up for pranayama. So Shavasana, you'll go ahead and lie down with your blanket, one blanket lengthwise and one blanket under the head. So you'll have one blanket folded in half lengthwise, one blanket to go underneath your head. Make sure that that blanket that's under the head, so that when you lie back, it will make the forehead slightly higher than the chin. And then you can just have both legs straight. And then here, you're going to go ahead and just draw the breath into the rib cage as you lie back, resting, just noticing how the breath enters into the rib cage with no agenda except to notice. And just for the next few moments, Staying with your breathing. Just like a stream that's flowing, the breath entering the rib cage. And at the bottom of your next exhale, you can release any control on your breath. And just resting into the support beneath you. And then at the bottom, You're welcome to go ahead and deepen your inhale. Begin to awaken your body to movement. And make a transition over to one side. And use the support of your arms to come back up to sitting. Our life, like a breath, then a coming and a going, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Can you see us?
No, I don't see anything. No, I can't seem to get back into, I don't know what happens. I tried going all the way out and coming all the way back in. So frustrating on this end. I even tried joining again. It was very, very puzzling. So even when I go back in, and as if I'm going to reopen, yeah, see now I can't even, the class isn't even listed anymore. It's so weird. It's just so weird. Well, good.
We're here.
We could see you.
Okay, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but at any rate, I can't even end the class if I wanted to, because it's not.
Oh yeah, we'll have to end it for you.
It's not there. It's so weird how this happens. Anyway, well, here we are, hopeful of a new day. I was going to try to find the poem to read you that was read at the inauguration, but the text isn't available yet. I'm sure we can go look it up and hear her read that, which would be lovely.
Well, Lynn, I wanted to thank you for being here today.
Yes.
And it just seems so appropriate. It feels like a whole new year, and all these chest openers and the instruction from the inner heart upward was very helpful for me today. I was a little concerned when we did the shoulder opener against the wall with the rotation, because my right shoulder at first was not feeling so good, but it's fine now. So it was just momentary. But the in Cobra today, you said something, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your words, but it helped me to imagine, like, you know, I said to myself, okay, lift your head, Sandra, upward. And because I think I tend to want to push somehow. But anyway, it was very helpful. And the second Cobra was even better. So thank you for all that.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're putting these things together in your body.
It's interesting to me that when we are exploring a new area, that it's my experience that I can feel the outside of that area, but I have to work super hard to get to the inside.
Mm.
When we did that, when we did the pelvic stuff, it took me probably the better part of a month to get inside.
Mm.
And this heart center, I know where it is. I can feel it from the front. I can feel it from the back, but only intellectually can I feel it from the inside. So it's going to, I'm going to have to work on that. And be conscious of finding that physical sensation of being inside and not outside.
Great.
I think we have a tendency to, at least I do, to sort of skim the surface.
Yeah.
A lot of things, both physically and emotionally and mentally and politically and everything else. And it's hard work to get inside. But I'm glad we're getting that opportunity to work hard. I like to work hard.
Jackie, if I can share, last night I was working with a teacher of mine, my nonviolent communication teacher, and saying I was anxious because there were things I was worried about, and I recited the things I was worried about. And she pointed out, forget the things out there that you're worried about. Focus on your anxiety. Focus on your internal, forget all those things out there and focus on what's happening inside you.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It just rang a bell.
Yeah. It's just being really, I think it's an issue of being mindful. And sometimes we think we're being mindful and we're just being a little bit
Busy.
But
I think,
Lynn appeared in.
I think we may have lost Lynn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
hear
well, we can't see you anymore,
Oh,
but
I
we can
think
hear you.
I was gonna go. Let me see if I can plug this thing back in. Isn't that
You
weird?
you disappeared into a blossom.
That's good. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see the tree?
We know we see a flower.
A red flower.
Oh, is that the DAYA flower thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the lotus or whatever it
Oh,
is.
gotcha. Boy, this is so crazy. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear your voices. That's good.
Well, and I'll just add, Jackie, when we were doing poses and thinking about lifting, I think we were in an upright lunge and I felt wobbly and I brought in some of the pelvic floor work, remembering that. And what happened was there was such a connection between lifting way up here, our lifting above our collarbone, and somehow all the way back to the back foot.
Wow.
That you start to feel the connections between the parts we've been working on.
Wow.
Yeah, we're learning to integrate, aren't we?
Yeah, learning to really know what's in there.
Exactly. It's a good feeling, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. And we need something that we can feel we have some, I won't say control over, but that's for lack of a better word.
Go ahead.
Control. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to take off.
Okay.
Thanks all.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Me too. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
Lynn.
good day.
Everybody, take good care.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.